Howdy folks, welcome back to another Turbo 350 rebuild video here. We got our piston out of our pump here. This is our piston here. It comes off our pump, so we got that out. I went ahead and got in the kit and found the two seals that go on this piston here. You have one on the outside, and you have one that is on the inside. So I went ahead and got our kit here, went through it, and got the correct lip seals out so that we can install those. And to put those on, you just pull them out really gently, just like that. Come right on out. There's the old seal. You'll make sure that it's facing the correct way. You see how this has a different lip seal on it? It's to go in there one way. And this one's the same way. You want to make sure they're facing down. That lip is facing down. So here's our new lip seal. Go ahead and compare it with our old one. And they are the same. So we'll take our new one. We'll go ahead and install that. And keep in mind, you want to make sure and install the correct side down. Just like that. See how this one's already facing down? So here's the spring side. And then the seal is facing down. Facing that way. So we got our seal here. And it is facing down. And we'll install that. Just like that. And just push it in. Gotta be careful with it, don't want to tear it. There's the inside one. It's facing the correct way. But make sure you got the correct orientation there, so it's facing down. Now we'll go ahead and pull our outside one off. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pull off our outside seal the rest of the way. It just comes off. Set that there. Take our new one, we'll sit on top of it. Make sure they're the same, and they are. We'll install that. So then this groove right here. Hard to do with one hand. So go around real easy. So you want to put it on real easily. You don't want to tear it or nothing. You just got that one installed. And they go in that groove. And they're facing the correct way. They're facing down. So our piston is done. It's ready to be back installed. Went ahead and cleaned it up. And now we're going to go ahead and take our bolts out of our pump here. When you take these 5 bolts out, this piece right here on the bottom of the pump is going to drop down, so we want to be careful with that. So we'll take these 5 bolts out here, and we'll get that piston back installed. Alright, something I want to point out to y'all. I got this pump apart here, and this is kind of important here. But not all of these bolt patterns are the same. So if you look, if I was to take a tape measure and measure from each one of these points from here to here, all the way around is not the same. That way it only bolts on one way. See, it won't only line up but one way. If I turn it like that, y'all can see that. So it won't line up that way. Turn that way. lines up. So this only goes on one way. Just a little tip out there. So I got the new piston here, and we're getting ready to install it. And we'll take a little transmission fluid. We're going to put on our outside and inside seal. So when we put it in here, it won't tear nothing. So we'll go do that. Alright, so I got a little bit of transmission fluid on here. Take a little bit and put on the inside of this seal here. Just got a little bit in that bucket there. Alright, so I got plenty of transmission fluid on there. And we're getting ready to install it. I got it all on our inside and outside seals. We'll make sure that's good and lubricate it. Don't want nothing dry, because you don't want to tear these seals. It's really important. It's been cleaned up. And we're going to go ahead. Sometimes it's a little difficult to do. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. But you just want to wiggle it in there till it drops all the way to the bottom here. We'll go do that. Alright, so I got the piston back in there. It's a little difficult to do. But the way I did it is I just kept wiggling it. You got to be real careful with it, because you don't want to tear them seals on these grooves here. I just wiggled it a little bit. They make a lip seal tool where you can go around the inside and outside to get it to drop down in place. But if you're careful with it, like I am, and take a little transmission fluid and make sure everything's good and lubricate it, you can take that thing and just turn it and wiggle it down in there. This one's all the way in. And we got it in without messing anything up, so that's good. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install our springs and put our plate back on. And we're also going to put this little pivot. Some transmissions have it, some don't. There's a little pivot that goes on here. There's the hole. It's a little spring and it's a little pivot that goes on here. Some of them have this and some of them don't. So you'll have to see if yours actually has this or not. Mine happens to have it. I just took a little piece of tape, put over top of this check ball right here. It's not supposed to come out, but just in case I didn't want it to come out. Our bushing is in good shape. And the only thing we got to do now is we're going to clean these mud divers out. Once we do that, we're going to start assembling this thing and get it back together. But it's coming along. Coming along. We got our piston back in there. We'll take and clean it up a little bit more. And get this thing back together so I can get the pump back in. So this will be the first part of the pump rebuild. It'll be a second part coming up, and we'll get this thing back together and get it back in that transmission. Because once we get this done, then we're going to start putting the valve body back on it. That's how you get the piston back in there. I believe I counted there was 27 springs on this, so yours might be different. But I'll see y'all in the next part. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.